Hi, I'm Kira K. Dixon, and today Caitlin Clark is under the umbrellas. Welcome, Caitlin.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Although this interview with Caitlin Clark at the Masters might not seem like much at first, it is undoubtedly nightmare fuel for those who despise her, since it explains exactly why she is dominating both on and off the court. By now, we are all aware of two things. First, Caitlin Clark is far more popular than any other WNBA player, and second, the establishment finds it intolerable. They contort themselves into knots in an attempt to minimize her influence, claiming that it's only her skin tone or that she's very excited. But here's the thing. You can see from this interview why Caitlin is so appealing to both fans and brands. Why she is without a doubt the greatest crossover star the WNBA has ever had. She is a master, or perhaps I should say a master's class, and more significantly, she is a skill that goes unnoticed. Stick around because you're going to see why Caitlin Clark isn't just altering the game. She's doing something that no player has ever done before. I've got some frosting on the cake at the end. You can block a shot or take away a passing channel, but you can't stop this. Wait until you hear about her audacious prophecy coming true. Before we begin, please subscribe for more Caitlin Clark updates. This season, there will be a lot of them.
She's the most requested guest in the history of our show. And the Time Magazine Athlete of the Year, Miss Caitlin Clark.
As everyone is aware, Caitlin Clark has dominated the offseason despite never having set foot on a WNBA court. Let's start a quick fire. This season, she will play in 41 nationally televised games, which is 9 more than the New York Liberty, the reigning champion. A preseason game between the Indiana Fever and Brazil's national team sold out more than 15,000 seats, and ESPN is currently airing the match nationwide. It's the first time. Only when the Fever visit town have 6 WNBA teams shifted their home games to NBA-sized facilities. Then you consider March Madness, the first NCAA tournament since Caitlin Clark, where the Final Four and championship games saw a decline in viewership of more than 10 million people per. When compared to the year she was the main attraction, even the WNBA draft ratings dropped dramatically. In summary, there has never been more hype. Never before has the disparity in popularity been so obvious. But here's the thing. Because her actions off the court are just as significant as her actions on it, she has really excelled in high-profile public and media engagements. For example, at the Annika Prom, her attendance alone increased ticket sales by 200%. 1,200% is not a typo. Then she appears with Taylor Swift at a Chiefs game, which immediately creates national attention. She has given speeches at several high-profile events, and her speaking fee starts at $100,000 for a 30-minute presentation. You'll realize why she sat on an NFL flag football panel with Eli Manning and Serena Williams, mingling with legends in a casual manner after seeing her demeanor. She collaborated with Dude Perfect on a video that is almost certain to receive tens of millions of views. The interview with David Letterman was really favorably received. "I get it now," said those who didn't even follow basketball as they left. And we have this now. At the Masters interview 16 pure gold minutes recall what I previously stated. The reason she asks at least $100,000 for a 30-minute speaking engagement is that she is an excellent public speaker. In all honesty, her ability to subtly advance the WNBA off the floor is maybe her most underappreciated talent, just as much as her skill on it. All right, let's begin the interview, so you can judge myself.
I know you've told the story a bit, but for those that don't know, how did you get into the game of golf?
So I remember I was pretty young and I loved every sport. My parents
You're a little athletic.
I wanted to try whatever I could. And I remember on one of my birthdays, I forget how old I was turning, but I was pretty young. I got my first set of golf clubs, and they were bright pink, like the kid golf clubs. And I would always beg my dad to take me and go golfing. I just really enjoyed it. I loved being outside.
One of an athlete's most underappreciated qualities is openness, particularly in a time when highlight videos and well-manicured public relations appearances are the norm. An athlete who is transparent is memorable in addition to being relatable. It fosters emotional trust, which is crucial in a society where people make snap judgments about whether or not to care about you. Caitlin Clark is more knowledgeable than most people about this. She doesn't hide her vulnerabilities. Instead, she shares personal anecdotes and allows viewers to see more than just her numbers. In this instance, she is laughing and sharing a fond childhood reminiscence. That little story reveals that she has always had a passion for athletics, because it made her happy, not because of the attention or pressure, and by bringing up her father, she provides you with a glimpse into the motivations behind everything. That familial bond that ignites. Additionally, she doesn't pretend to be an expert golfer.
I wasn't obviously very good. I still am a hack, but I think I just love being outside. I love the competitive aspect of it. It's like a battle with yourself. Like, it's an individual sport. It's so different than basketball or the other sports that I played growing up. So I think it makes you have this mental toughness about you.
She referred to herself as a hack. Such candor is uncommon and immediately establishes a connection with listeners. Here, she repeats the action.
Yeah, you got to play in a pro-am last fall with Nelly and Annika.
Yeah.
What was that experience like?
Oh gosh, I've never been so nervous in my life.
That's saying a lot too.
I know,
oh
I don't
gosh.
get nervous for basketball, but that's maybe because I know I'm actually okay at that. I'm decent at that.
You're pretty good, yeah.
Golf, you never know what might happen. I about killed somebody on the 6th tee, but it's really fun.
She's talking about her terrible moment at the Annika prom when she drove into the crowd, which she was obviously able to laugh off. Humor, particularly self-deprecating humor, aids athletes in their efforts to gain acceptance off the court. It lowers walls. It transforms someone from an unreachable celebrity to someone I would genuinely like to spend time with.
Tried every single food. We're going down the list.
What's the favorite?
My favorite, I think the Georgia peach ice cream sandwich. You can't go wrong with that. It's the peach isn't overpowering. The sugar cookie is really good. Had a couple of them yesterday. I'm gonna need to get some extra conditioning in when I get back to Indianapolis, but you can't go wrong with anything. There's just so many things that are so good. And
once more, brief, informal, and entirely in character of famous athlete ridiculing herself for consuming too many desserts. No build-up, no punchline. It allows you to appreciate her as a person and put aside the statistics and attention. Humor is what gives interviews replay value, makes them memorable, and encourages fans to push share rather than just she revealed another side in a few more serious and contemplative moments that went beyond the jokes. Not about her early years, but more about how she handles the demands of being an athlete.
We always hear these old stories of Michael Jordan taking his clubs on the road playing 36, or even today, Steph Curry always travels with his golf clubs.
Yeah.
From a physical perspective, how crazy is that?
It is crazy, but also I think understanding how much I enjoy it and how peaceful it is. It's such a nice way to get away from basketball and what your reality is every single day, and just to do something where you can calm your mind and be away from people and be outside. I think one of my favorite stories is when Steph Curry, I think it was the playoffs, and I think it was the finals, they had just lost and he didn't play very well. And the next day they had off and he didn't want to go to the gym, he wanted to go to the golf course and just hit balls. And then the next day he came out and had 45 points and shot really well. And I think it just shows how nice of a calming aspect it is for professional athletes.
Every shot she makes becomes a talking point in a sport as competitive and scrutinized as women's basketball. That level of emotional honesty and clarity is powerful, and what's even more striking is that she's not presenting it like a polished celebrity on a press tour. She is merely speaking. No pretense, no prepared lines, just casual, sincere chat. After watching these movies, you have a better picture of Caitlin's personality outside of the basketball court. She is more than just a celebrity. She is a person with stories, coping strategies, and imperfections that she is happy to laugh at, which is what makes her so captivating. Even while Caitlin is undoubtedly a natural, we must keep in mind that she has been in the spotlight for a long time. Since many people are envious of her fame, you should be aware that the media is constantly searching for an embarrassing moment to capture on tape. Here's an example of how Caitlin's media training is evident.
How would you compare the Masters tournament to, I know you've been to many sporting events, you think about the Final Four, the NBA Finals, the Super Bowl. How does this compare to any other major sporting event in America?
I honestly would probably put it number one.
Oh, wow.
And I think it's just so different than everything else. There's really just nothing like this. And I think honestly the aspect of not having your phone is so unique. You can tell everybody is so invested and they're really just there to watch the greatness of the athletes. And even the golfers talking about it after their rounds, they feel a different level of engagement from the fans too and how invested they are. And
as they say, Compliments get you far in life. She makes the occasion more enjoyable. She provides analysis from the viewpoints of both sportsmen and fans, and her response is flawlessly in line with the tone and message of the Masters, which has traditionally encouraged complacency, tradition, and respect for the game. Here's another illustration.
I think it's one of the most magical places I've ever been in my life, honestly. Like, I think it's that special, and everybody knows that, whether you've been here or not, but once you really step foot on this whole course, this entire area, like, it just puts into perspective how special this place really is.
Humility, openness, humor, and poise. When considered separately, each of these qualities is excellent. However, when they work together, Caitlin Clark becomes much more than just a basketball player. She has developed into a cultural mediator.
And I think growing up, I had an older brother who played football. My grandfather was a football coach for 40 plus years, and I remember going to my brother's football games, and I was like, why can't I play flag football? Like, I would have played it, I would have loved it.
And you would have been great at it.
I would have been okay, I don't know, maybe LA 2028, maybe I'll do 2 sports.
She is not merely navigating the sports world, she is connecting it. She has been embraced by golf at the Masters and the Annika Prom. Worked a few times in the offseason with NFL great Eli Manning, and even participated in an attempt to get Cincinnati a professional soccer franchise. Additionally, she always brings new admirers with her when she performs. That's how an ecosystem is developed. That's how a league grows. Although most people are unaware of it, Caitlin Clark serves as the WNBA's unpaid spokesperson. She is doing the outreach, marketing, and bridge construction for free, and she is doing it more effectively than anyone has ever done. People like her more the more they see her. She explains it perfectly here. The more people like her, the more they watch her, and once they start watching her, they start watching everyone.
It's been really fun, and obviously it's allowed me a lot of really cool opportunities and to do a lot of really cool different things, whether it's playing the Pro-Ams, whether it's be here, whether, you know, whatever it is, whether it's people just sending me golf clubs for free to try out. I'm never mad at that. I'm never mad at that. But it's super fun. I think it shows how much the game of golf is also growing. You know, I think over COVID, it certainly helped too. Like, that's when my brothers picked it up. They didn't play when we were kids, and that's when they picked it up and really started enjoying it, and now they can't get enough of it. And it's the same with a lot of my friends and teammates. So, you know, it's just such a welcoming community, and it's really fun for me to be a part of, and, you know, and to bring more eyes to golf. And then in return, you know, hopefully a lot of golf fans start watching women's basketball too.
Additionally, the Caitlin Clark effect lasts a long time.
And there's the buzzer. It's an even dozen for Gino Auriemma and Connecticut. The final page in the book of Beckers is title number 12 for UConn.
Although they weren't Caitlin Clark's figures, the NCAA Women's Tournament nevertheless had its third highest viewership in its first season following Caitlin. When someone leaves their sport and enters the culture, that is what occurs. Personal fame isn't the only factor. Lifting leagues and sports is the goal. Her presence, media acumen, and interpersonal skills are propelling the league ahead. Caitlin is spreading fandom in real time in this way. Wheeler recognizes Clark in the logo. You wager. Ultimately, without performance, none of this is possible. To put it plainly, Caitlin Clark's charisma and media prowess would be useless if she couldn't support it in court, which she most definitely does. She delivers every night, which is what helps the rest of it fall into place. Many athletes can handle an interview well, provide a great phrase, or talk a nice game, but if you're not producing or dominating, none of it will stick. Caitlin performs in addition to talking.
Clark trying to shake free Mabry all over. Here is Clark. Clark separating, taking, and hitting. Caitlin Clark with a difficult look from...
She's setting new records, guiding teams on deep runs, and making logo threes. She continues to rise despite all of this pressure and attention. Her confidence never comes across as arrogant because of this. Her interviews therefore seem earned because her game serves as the cornerstone around which everything else is built. Dominating the game is one thing, but controlling the discourse surrounding it is quite another. Furthermore, Caitlin Clark is doing both. She's unique because of this. She is therefore already more than just a player. She is a sensation. She performs at an unparalleled level while she is on the court and exudes composure and charisma when she is off it. She is aware that each and every camera, every microphone, and every informal discussion contributes to creating something more than a simple stat sheet. It's about reach and legacy, and she's doing it flawlessly in real time. She has obviously learned from the greatest.
Do you think that this accomplishment, combined with all your others, vault you over the Johnsons and Birds and Russells and Chamberlains?
No, because I think that's something that I really can't say can be established. Each one of us play in our different eras, with different teams, with different levels of success. And to compare all of them and say one's better than the next, it's an unfair justice to the art, or to the artists.